I've been busy most of the day today doing other things, but I come back on it and I caught a couple and I wanted to make sure I took a note about it. I'll bring up my page real quick here. Okay, so let's just get this out here. We're gonna talk about software in here in a second, considering population collapse. I want to be on my page. Okay. So we got a population collapse problem. I can't determine how bad that really is. I'm a pretty rural state comparatively against the city. So usually COVID wave functions in general from the population of the world, the Tamagotchi, when that thing come out, it took a while to get here, and along with a lot of the technology and other things that finally get out here. But you're gonna have to margin to be livable in these places comparatively to a city when food drops or the niche, right? That local niche where people would get together more functionally and adjust more commonly to the system. This was a good one from Nikki's News. She did a wonderful job, dedicated story there, never giving up. Of course, AC right next door about, well, they're not just, some of those are stolen valor or whatever it is out of the military. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Out of the military or doing whatever they do. It's kind of a house thing, it's a blueprint thing, but which gets me to this software, right? You got to have a long-term goal on these softwares. I mean, most of you guys have businesses, and you would have to use that business to kind of use it as a metrics, as an intelligence gauge, not just to your own company, but where I can put them. Remember, that's an inverted pilot's theory on where we can put people. What's a long game for somebody's skill set somewhere where they're marginally good, they're going to get the best out of it instead of having somebody with the Zenith hammer it, right? You got to have a ladder, you got to have a system for this stuff. Oh, me here, I'm just doing some military stuff.
Want to buy these companies if they trade below some nominal value.
Obviously, we're going to see some of this about. I put General Milley out there with Austin, with Nikki out there from the Ukrainian news set. I don't know if he's in here. He should be not too far off. You can chain scales, make these things around. That's my own special thing. Where's Nikki at in here? I know he's somewhere in here. But we could use this, as far as what it can be, and I'm getting some other numbers. Here we go. This set right here was beautiful. I wish he would do Mexico next. Just do that whole South American region, what's going down on there in terms of the drugs coming up, because that's going to be the long game problem that hurts everybody when you ask, well, is the Fed right now? Well, kinda. You can't separate the two in the dark matter calc. But at the end of the day, we're going to have a problem of permanently unemployable, on drugs, untrainable inside of a system where, you almost have to look at the cure as worse than the disease in some cases. Now, again, the standards and practice that go into this in terms of what a functionable thing would be is absolutely Sharp's way. It is the 42 way inside here. You got Boris Johnson finally starting to break it here about turning COVID vaccinations off and doing the thing. And it's his election. He just got out of the can for some stupid shit he was doing about some garden party. You get in here about doing Tread Docs once. Just doing the board presentations. Whether they be going through this information, and the training sets, how to Warhammer. Movement speed, standards, frame rates, and the most time you'd say, well, there's things that really dictate a lot of gravity inside here. Common sense physics and other values about those models if it was anybody's business, not just the stocks. This is the real. That you can't have it without the real.
If you look at Amazon, AWS a year ago or 2 years ago was
so we can go through this, and we could probability our standards, and again, I could give you the Soldier's Creed, Army, deductions, basically a check, what is it, your stub, and pieces of your taxes, but I don't need it to be here, I just need it to be ready to program in here in case I lose power. It's also framework, grammatics, figuring out grid, which way you're going about AX.
But even just small business payments, companies like companies that are in the lending space like Affirm and Upstart.
What did I say?
I continue to be really
no
bullish
mercy
on those
salty.
over the long run.
Yeah, Jeff, what about
well, you get in here with this, what did it... Yeah, I can't. You can't just do it. There's a situational dynamics where it's like, I'm under fire. The game says shoot back. It doesn't matter who's on the other end of that. It doesn't matter if it's not the one with it. As far as I know, that whips it out next because we are both here inside of the situation of the equality of these standards right here. And again, I had obviously Millie and Anderson not doing tread docs, not being leaders, not explaining the message, regardless if Putin does or not.
Yeah,
because we'll get a bunch of Russians. Because you heard them over there. They like peace. They like business. But they still have a problem with morality in that piece. You got to look at those regions. You got to check their numbers. You know, we could do it with just Mallow Cups where there's play money. Or I could give you some Z-Coin for Warhammer. Somewhere around here I got one. Instead of pieces, we'll just use quarters and a Z-Coin. And for this thing, it's a heavy hitter. I'm using a 35 round on the board. And over here, I'll use a shotgun shell. I don't need it to do that. But the inflation on that says we get that. We understand that value of it. We treat that value that way. We give it that faith. And if this was the only one, here it'd be difficult. But my Z-Coin, where there is literally only one on the planet, it means the favor. It could be any value I want it to be inside of there, but it still has timelines. It still has gravitational bounds about why I owe somebody a Mallow or $10 or a 5-cent play money card. Now to them, that means a bond. It means, you know, what this was supposed to grow to hold in my pocket, or what it meant to you by holding it in your pocket. Until you owed me a favor or something turned around. You turned it into somebody else's because I had a dividend against it. And
put progress in your portfolio. Invest in companies with potential.